My name's Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, you taking a lesson?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just have to hit the washroom.
Well, we're going to do a quick little interview anyway, so take your time.
Okay, sure.
You got
Hey,
your
Charlie.
Hey.
There you go. You want to use the other washroom?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
This is the hang. So you want to sit down now?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So
Wear
you'll be.
glasses, if that's okay.
Sorry?
It's okay to wear these?
And chew gum.
I took the gum out.
You really want to wear it? Nah, don't wear it.
Oh, you don't want them?
Nah,
Okay.
because then people
Try it,
look.
though.
Oh no, we
I don't?
won't even show.
Okay.
He says he's been drinking. No, not Kenny. Not Kenny. Nah.
Yeah,
No,
no,
because
it's
when you
better
look
to
at a
show it.
video, then you don't know where the guys are.
Yeah.
Eyes are.
It's not as personal, I know.
Yeah.
I just going too tired from sleeping all on the bus.
You want to get closer, Aldo? Just,
You want me to move forward?
Nah.
no, say it like that.
Just, you gotta be careful with my wife. You know.
Yeah.
She'll get jealous. And then the kids will wonder, what's doing? So close to that guy.
Yes.
Mhm.
He has been away recently quite a bit.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
What does he read?
Yeah, yeah. How many kids you have now? 3, right.
But you haven't seen the new one.
The new one's got to be 2 years old?
Exactly.
No.
He's a riot.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
Is he?
And he's so smart, you know, and like Yolanda will be
The
talking.
younger they get, the crazier they get.
Well, because he soaks it up, and he's really smart. And then, you know, you make a joke, and you know, like and he gets it. Like
At 2 years old?
he gets what you're doing. And I look at Yolanda, and I say, that's impossible. She says, I don't believe it. Like he gets what you know, he gets the thing. You know
The
what I mean?
vibe. He's
Yeah,
picking up the
and he
vibe.
laughs. You know.
Oh my
Like you're putting
God.
him on, you know, a little pull on, you know, that's kind of thing. And he gets it. This guy's.
How old's the oldest one?
She's going to be 11.
Well, I was talking to my son. He's 25 and he's in a Buddhist monastery in India.
Wow.
Teaching English. He's making big life decisions up there.
Wow.
Whether it be possibly a monk. And he's like a total stud. I mean, he's like,
Really?
he's
What
6'3",
made him
he could be a model. Oh, it's a long story. I started everybody into the Buddhism thing. I got out of it, but they all stayed in it. And then Nick started studying in college. He went to I sent him to a school in Switzerland where it was run by the monks where he studied. And this was when he wasn't doing great in high school, and he started to really get into the philosophy of it and studying, like, you know, now he's in India.
Wow. I mean, there's one thing to be said about that you know, you really need a balance these days. There's so much crazy stuff.
We need a balance of what?
In balance in life, because all the stuff that's happening in politics, the car, everybody's the bailout from the Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
The world is going crazy.
The
So
whole
you
world's
have
nuts.
to,
Well,
you have to have
that's,
your head on
I
straight.
don't know if that's helping him focus, but that's pretty extreme too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in a Buddhist monastery in India. That's pretty extreme, and
Yeah.
you know, giving up his
Does it
girls.
sound okay? Okay.
Cool.
And you know what? So why don't I? That's something else. I mean, that's one thought that I was going to throw at
Right.
you. You know,
Mhm.
like, and this is just like going to be like just a discussion. You know, and I might come up with something else, and you might lead me on to something.
Right.
But if there was something also that's in like in the back of your mind, that, remembering that this is going to be, if it ever ends up in a DVD, it's kind of going to go back to you and say, yeah, that's cool, what he said, like a more general, an idea that you've been wanting to say, but you never got to it, or you haven't.
I always have got so many different things to say.
Something that these days that you really want to say it, and we just cut it out
Mhm.
if need be, but, you know, you may not get a question for it, but it's something you want to just say.
Oh, I
Listen,
see, I
I
understand,
need
yeah.
I need to say this. So, you know,
Yeah.
maybe take me there.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but maybe it'll come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to try and do it so it's just straight through and no stops, like one take.
Right.
Okay.
Sure,
So it'll be a
yeah.
discussion without the beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So you tell me when you're ready, and I'll fire it up.
He's the editing king. He can edit.
Yeah, Kenny, I wanted to ask you, You know, as we're growing up, when we're growing up, it was really easy to think about what you're going to do in life once you decide you're going to be a musician, or you start aiming that way. You can either play in a band, or if you're playing symphony stuff, then you're thinking, okay, I'm going to play with an orchestra, or aim that way, or be a studio musician. I mean, that was one of my first aims. I wanted to be a studio musician, even though I was in a band, so I knew what to do, and I put myself on this path. Today, with all that's been going on, all the changes, and we've seen a lot of the changes that have gone over the years, and you've certainly had your share of record dates and stuff. What would you suggest to someone who is really seriously thinking, how should they be thinking about a career like, or a life in music?
Right. Well, it not just music, but in life in general. I think that there's three real important factors. One is you can't avoid if you want to be successful. One is, hard work. That's like, I look at that as like transportation. Like, how do you get to work? You either or school. You either get in a car, you ride a bike, or in my case, sometimes an airplane. But it's like that's transportation to get somewhere in life. And I look at being successful. The transportation is hard work. Forever. I mean, guys like Vic Firth will say, how do you make it? He says, he always says persistence, persistence, persistence. Just work hard, 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 hard forever. Or Donald Trump, I saw him interviewed, and he said the same thing. You just never give up. So that's a guarantee, whether it's music or sports or whatever you want to be great at. It just doesn't come to you.
Right. You have to work for it.
You got to work. And then the fuel that fuels the vehicle is passion and desire. What kept you is staying in music, and what's kept me in music is that it's the one thing in life that you just absolutely desire and crave all the time. That's what you found in life that makes you happy, most of the time.
Right.
So if you have to work hard, you got to find something that you're passionate about and love. And it sounds like we've heard this, but I woke up the other day, and both these guys had books that came out. One was Donald Trump, and one was this Tony Robbins guy who's been very successful. And they both said this. They both said, especially when you're going through tough times, what you gotta. Tony Robbins was saying you gotta have your mental strength and your physical strength together. So, like, if you're trying to be a musician today, which is way more difficult than it ever was when we were growing up, mostly because there aren't as many opportunities where you can make it in a band and then make it in a band that's going to stay successful. I was with John Mellencamp for 17 years, and then I left. Thinking I'll just go to another one. And, it's hard to make a name for yourself, period. I mean, unbelievable. Or to be as a studio musician is difficult because there just isn't the demand there isn't the funding, the money, the record companies to have budgets to put bands in the studio. Like, we sometimes spend like 9 months with Mellencamp on a record because we had our own studio. But there aren't the budgets to do session after session after session, day and night. And before I made it as a studio player, they didn't have drum machines or sequencers, so you had to use the drummer and the percussionist for everything.
Right.
There wasn't like, loops or anything. Sure. You had to hire somebody. So that you don't need the drummer and the percussionist as much. There's other alternatives. So that's studio work in a band. And then, I mean, to be in a symphony orchestra, there's always been only a handful of orchestras in the world. So all the kids graduating from college and wanting to be in an orchestra, very, very difficult. So the opportunities aren't as great. So if you're going to do this, first of all, you have to work hard. Hard. The only thing that's going to keep you working hard is you have passion and desire. So you're willing to eat peanut butter sandwiches, and you're willing to not live with a lot of money. You do it because you love doing it. and then to work hard, hard, hard. And that's what Donald Trump was saying. He was saying, like, I know guys that went into real estate like me, and I know guys that went into real estate like me, but they didn't make it because they gave up, because they worked so hard, they gave up right at the end because they didn't have the passion to stay in it.
Right.
You gotta have that passion to stay in it. He says you gotta have the passion so that even if you lose it, you're willing to still stay in the game to get it back again. And then he kept talking about find something you like in life that you like doing, that you're passionate about, and then work hard and never give up. Tony Robbins said the same thing. Find something in life that you love so that, and he was talking about because the economy's bad, he's saying so that here's an opportunity. Don't look at it as a negative thing. Look at it as a positive thing. All right, you have to downsize. You have to move out of that big house, and you're living, you know, with very little money. But now's the time to definitely do something you love doing. Because the reason why you need to find something you love doing is because you are going to have to deal with the obstacles, and you're going to have to hang in there when things are tough. And if you love what you're doing, that will get you through the tough times.
Right.
So that's what you need to do. You have to first love what you're doing, because the opportunities in music aren't what they used to be. The income isn't there. The band making it and then having a career for 20 years isn't there like it used to be. Very few make it like that. We're in a fast food society where one band's in this year, it's out, the next band's in. Nothing is, who would ever thought that American Idol would be the biggest, most successful part of the music business?
Right.
American Idol. It's like a TV show.
Right.
You know?
And it's and in art, I mean, back in the days, that kind of environment was really created in the church basement. Let's stop for a second. On est en train de filmer.
Pardon, excuse-moi.
So we'll do Howard.
Ouais, ok, excuse-moi.
We'll do the class in the back section. Yeah.
Wait.
And
You're so patient. They're looking at you like, what do you mean you're filming something? So what?
So what?
So what? So?
I got worried. I got a class.
Yeah, exactly. Filming? Who gives a kid? Anyway, so like...
No, wait, before you go. I want to make sure that they're...
Yeah.
Salut.
Yeah, on est en train de faire une entrevue.
Ah, ok,
filmée.
j'étais concentré dans
Yeah. On va faire la classe en arrière. Normalement, il y a 2 personnes aujourd'hui.
Ok.
Well, you're the editor. You know how to edit. It's like this.
Howard.
Howard. Et il y avait des personnes qu'on a.
Yeah.
Ouais, et... oui, l'autre personne doit arriver, c'est 6h30. Bien.
Ok.
Super. Et après, ferme la porte, comme ça on...
Ouais.
You know how you wanted to do this in one piece?
Well, it could have been done.
Two-piece.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
That's all right. So anyway,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can do it. We both.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
you were saying something. I think you were asking a question about it.
Well, I think, wait a second.
I think you were talking about, like, you were about to say, well, we both talking about how it's so different now and that.
Oh yes, about the American Idol.
Yeah.
About the American Idol thing
Yeah,
being
but
like
what
becoming the dominating thing in the music business.
Well, that's like the reality thing. So now it's like the bottom up. In when we grew up, you did all those auditions, all that stuff in the church basements, in your local community, and then you worked your way up, and then at the end you were the Beatles.
Yeah,
Those
right.
who
The
made it
Beatles,
up.
yeah, or Zeppelin or what you.
Yeah.
There was a possibility.
Now prime time is at the church basement.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, you're on candid camera.
Am I on candid camera? or
Yes.
what?
So they're in the back.
They're in the back.
Yeah, and
okay.
close the door behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah. It's
Not to put it down. I mean,
No, it
there's,
is, it's
there's a
just
place
reality.
for that. But now, it's like here's something else that happened. When I was growing up, and I know you've had this experience too. You have the band who recorded, and then the record did well, went on tour to support the record, and the record was leading the pack. Now it's completely the other way around.
Right.
You do your record to get known, or to sell the show. So people come to the show to have the live experience.
Right.
So the record is not like the end product. It's really the show, and the record is really something that just supports the show.
Right.
So it's completely the other way around, and that's fine. But things move and change on a constant basis. So we have to prepare ourselves in a business sense. We have to prepare ourselves as humans better, much more rounded than people needed to be at some point.
I think that you can't. You just gotta be realistic in the market we're in. You know, if you're gonna try to make it as a music your life, if it really is that important to you, you're going to, you may have to have another job to subsidize your real passion. If you're lucky enough to support yourself as a musician, awesome, that's great. But if you're not, you're going to probably have to find another way to, pay for your food, your car gas, your whatever, your rent, whatever. But that if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, that's just all that says is how important it is to you. There are different levels, of where music fits in people's lives. So it's not one's better than the other. It's just got to be realistic about it, and it'll all sort itself out anyway.
Yeah, and also the other thing too is some people say, well, I'm going to make it in music and I'm going to be in the billboards and in the records, but ultimately the most important thing is to have a really good equal life. That is, the music is whatever part of your life you want it to be, and then made up of these other parts, whether it's family, working in other areas to complement what you're doing, teaching, writing, composing.
You talk about balance?
Balance.
Yeah. I have no balance. I'm I'm kind of like a missile with a lot of gas and no wings. When the gas goes out, the missile's gonna go. But I'm not a good example. I'm like a complete workaholic, real extreme. I've never really had too much balance in my life. But it's worked out for me because it's helped me push through where some people are like, are you crazy? I've had enough. And deal with people who have hired me that are not the easiest people to work with. I'm almost like a crazed, athlete, that just all I can see is I got to score a goal, I got to score a goal, I got to score a goal, and just insane about it. But
I think you have to be to achieve that kind of level.
Yeah, at the level I got, where you got, the big three things with me was like, to be in a band that was successful. So now that I get into a band that was successful, the John Mellencamp band, what in its time was America's band. I mean, and then Rolling Stone named me the drummer of the year when they had not the critics, but the critics, not the readers, but the critics called me the drummer of the year. We were like the album of the year. We were on the Grammys, the Oscars. We gold records, and we were huge in Canada and went all over the world and had our own private jet and all that stuff. Then I left that and went on to other bands. I was hired by Bob Seger, Smashing Pumpkins, people like that, and experienced that. So I had the touring thing, band thing. Then I struck gold again. I became a session guy. So, and then tied in with that was the educational thing, drum clinics and festivals. Point is, I never would say no. I would work 7 days a week, 7 nights a week. Christmas, doesn't matter. It came first. And there was no balance. And so what happens, you miss out on a lot of stuff. I miss a lot of weddings, a lot of funerals, a lot of occasions. There is no balance. But like you said, hard work, or like I was talking about, hard work and passion. By the way, the third thing is education. You need to always be educating yourself and adjusting.
Right.
You got to. You have to adjust to the old way. Like you said, everything's always changing. The system is always changing. Right now, as we're talking, it's changing again.
Sure.
So
And
you have-
faster and faster.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. You have to adapt, and you have to be willing to adapt. If you're not, that's fine too. But don't expect to be here or trying to get here if you're not working hard and you're not adapting and you're just working and working and working and persevere and persevere. If you want to be here, not only be here, but stay there.
Right. That's
It's one thing to do this. My career went like this. The only thing I contribute to is hard work. I'm not the most talented guy or the fastest drummer, but I work hard and I have enough talent and I have enough whatever it takes to have a career.
Right.
But you gotta keep working hard. You gotta keep working hard. You gotta keep trying, you know?
Yeah, and the positive,
do.
being positive about it too,
Yeah.
because being positive means you don't recognize failure. Well, failure means you just give up too soon,
Right.
and you just keep at it as far as you want to take it. That's really
As far as you want to take it,
a
exactly.
personal decision.
It is a personal decision.
Yeah.
Because you got to decide if you're willing to be. A lot of times, you know, people that work this hard and are persevere that long tend to be. You can end up. You're not by yourself. You're around people all the time, but the deep family type relationship type thing can sometimes take a back seat. You know, because that's my iPhone. See, I'm trying to be modern. Keep that iPhone going all the time. Could be another gig. Probably is.
Well, here we are doing this interview, and you missed
I missed it.
probably
No,
most.
when we get done, I'm gonna go get that phone and call that person back.
Taking care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, and I mean, of course, we can talk about this stuff forever, but you got to know your music. You got to know your stuff, and also, you know, the question of balance and learning. I mean, updating yourself, always getting, knowing what's going on, like reading, going to camps, workshops, clinics.
That's hard. It's hard for me to stay up. If I'm working 7 days a week, 7 nights a week, it's hard to stay up on top of it. You know, because I always talk about when I teach lessons, you know, functional practicing, which is definitely practice what is going to make you sound good today. Even if it's taking a lesson, if they're taking a lesson with you or something, the first thing that person should practice is for that lesson.
Right.
Because that's the most important thing. If they're taking lessons and playing gigs, then both things are important. You have to always be prepared for the job you're doing. You can't be practicing your brushes when you're going to be doing a rock and roll gig at night. You got to be practicing the rock and roll so you sound good on that gig. That must be an important call because that was a text, sound, and a phone call.
Wow.
You should check it out.
We should check it out.
We'll be back.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kenny. It's a pleasure.
Good. Yeah. Oh, text.